I wonder if you were ever in a nativity play. Obviously, children, you've been in a nativity play this year. Many of you, some of you maybe slightly older. You might have been in it a few years ago. And those of us who are very much older, I want you to think back and talk to the person next to you. If you were ever, wait a minute, I'm going to tell you mine first, so you get the idea. When I was 8 or 9, I was Melchior. That's one of the wise men, in case you're not into the names of the wise men, not that the Bible tells us, but traditionally. So I had to sing, walking down the aisle of my village church, village chapel. I had to sing, sorry, I won't do it now. Frankincense is mine. It's bitter perfume. I had to sing the frankincense verse. You'll be glad to know that video hadn't been invented, at least not personal video. So there's no evidence, and I can't bore you with that. But I promise you it happened to me. So talk to somebody next to you. If you were ever in, maybe you weren't, or maybe you wish you were. See, they'll put up, were you in the nativity? Or who did you always want to be? Did you always wish you were Joseph or Mary or an angel or Herod? Okay, let's have a bit of a straw poll then. As you can see on the screen, I've got a few options. Maybe you want to be something that's not on the screen already. But let's start off with hands up if you either were or wish you had been Mary. Anybody want to own up that you once were Mary? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to say about 20 for that one. Okay, so now then, Joseph. Anybody who was Joseph or wished they'd do a Joseph? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, not so many for that. Right. Anybody who was an angel or wished they were an angel? Go on, you all wanted to be, Rob wanted to be an angel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Simon wanted to be an angel. Oh, about 25 or 30, I think, wanted to be an angel. So, okay, what about, where's my curse? Anyway, what about a shepherd? Who wanted to be a shepherd? There we are. Okay. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, at least 20 for that. So, oh, hang on. It's gone down too far. What's happened here? There we are. 20. Right. Okay. What about wise man? Who wanted? I was a wise man. I'm putting my hand up for the wise man. And who wanted to be a wise man or a wise woman, a wise one? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Nobody over here. 22. Oh, we'll make that about 25. Get there in a minute. Hang on. What about? What's happened to the cat? I don't know what's happened to the camel down there. Right. Let's just sort that out. We've had a bit of a problem there. Okay. What about? Anybody wanted to be a sheep? Anybody always wanted to be a sheep? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 7. Or 8. We'll give you 8 for that one. No, it's not. Oh, help. Oh no, what's happened? My computer's gone everywhere. Not 208, it's not meant to be. Don't just love technology. No, it's all gone. It's all gone hopelessly wrong. As I usually say to the Queen. Oh, there it is. Right, let's try and get this. Right, so we don't want 208 Marys. We did want, how many did I say? 7 sheep. Right, just a couple more. Donkey. Anybody who always wished they were a donkey? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Goodness me. Loads of people want to be a donkey. Oops. Okay, and then, what's happened here? Going to give up the technology in a minute. No, there it is. Right, okay. So, camel. Right, let's see. Oh, camel, 1, 2, 1 camel, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, quite a lot of people want to be a camel as well. So I think about 15 wanted to do that. Anybody wanted to be something else in the nativity that I haven't said already? What do you want to be, Jacob? The audience. The audience. I'm not going to type audience in. Hannah, what did you want to be? The star. Oh, the star. Yes, of course. I forgot about the star. Okay. Anybody else wanted to be the star? Let's see the star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only about 6. Okay. And anybody else want to be something else? What do you want to be? Sorry? The innkeeper. Oh, the innkeeper. We forgot about the innkeeper because we had the uncle instead this time because we didn't. Innkeeper. Who either was or wanted to be an innkeeper? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5. So that's not quite so popular. Let's put that in. Okay, fine. Right, oh, not 4, not 65. Oh dear, oh dear. Sorry about my poor technology. But there we are. So just hang on to those thoughts about what you wished it would be, because we're going to come back to that a little bit later. But now we're going to do a Bible reading on the screen. Okay, anybody notice the 2 common things in each of those 3 readings from the Bible? Hannah, have a go. I think you've said both of them, actually, because you said the word angel. So press the button. And I think, oh, no, the other button. Press the button. Angels. And what was the other thing you said? They said, okay, press the button and see. The angels, each time, did you notice, each time there was an angel involved, an angel came to Mary, an angel came to Joseph, an angel came to the shepherds, and each time the angels, part of what they said, in 2 cases, it was the first thing they said, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Well, then I thought, well, I suppose that's probably because angels are quite scary. It's lovely to have angels in our nativity play, but I don't know if anybody would be frightened by them. I don't know, maybe we'll see later. But anyway, angels were quite scary in those days and would be today, I think, the real angels. So the angels say, don't be afraid. But then I thought, well, press the button again. I thought, do we have to be afraid at Christmas? What if God wanted to say to us, don't be afraid? Because there's lots of things we could be afraid of. I don't mean afraid of Christmas itself, but there's lots of things in our world which are quite frightening, we have to admit. And I think one of the messages that God wants to say to all people, as he did at the first Christmas, is don't be afraid. And if you want to know why, press the button. It's because Jesus. Because of Jesus. Jesus was coming for Mary and Joseph. Jesus had come for the shepherds. Jesus has come for us. And Jesus is the reason why we don't need to be afraid, because Jesus can be our friend, as we prayed in the prayer at the end of the Nativity. Jesus can be with us always. And now we have a short video which gives you a different view of the Christmas story. You've had the Nativity version, and this is a video version. Oh, yes, sorry. Do it again. Here it goes.
So God made potatoes and planets and puppies, giraffes and gorillas, goldfish and guppies, kangaroos, kittens, cows that go moo. Then last, best of all, he made me. He made you. But something went wrong. We thought we knew best. We ignored what God said, made the world a big mess. We hit and we hurt and we bullied and fought. And the great God who loved us, we simply forgot. It made God so sorry, and that's why he said, "This is bad, and it makes me sad. This is bad, and it makes me sad." For God's love was bigger than the mess that we made. He knew what to do, so here's what he said. "I'll send them my son to show them the way, to love one another and live like I say, and give them my power deep down in their hearts, to fight what is bad, to make a new start, and live in this world just like I first planned, and turn what is sad into glad again, and turn what is sad into glad again." So a woman called Mary, just minding her business, was asked to be part of the very first Christmas by an angel called Gabriel, shiny and bright, who showed up one day and gave her a fright. "No need to be scared," the angel explained. "I've come with good news, simple and plain. You'll give birth to God's baby. It's all in his plan, to turn what is sad into glad again, to turn what is sad into glad again." Then Mary and Joseph, her husband, went down to be counted by Caesar in Bethlehem town. With no empty rooms left to rent for their stay, they stopped in a place where the animals lay. And there in the hay, she gave birth to God's son, and cuddled and cradled her small special one, who'd grow up to do all the things that God planned, and turn what was sad into glad again, and turn what was sad into glad again. Some shepherds were watching their sheep down the way when an angel appeared like a firework display, and shocked all the shepherds and shook up their sheep, and made sure that no one would get a night's sleep. "Go to Bethlehem now," the bright angel said. "See the babe in the manger hay under his head. He's amazing, he's special, for only he can turn what is sad into glad again. Turn what is sad into glad again." So that's why we have Christmas and welcome the day, and sing and eat turkey and put on a play, and dress up like angels and get lots of toys. But it's not just because of that sweet baby boy. It's because of the man he grew up to be, who changed the whole world and can change you and me, to live and to love just like God always planned, and turn what is sad into glad again, and turn what is sad into glad.
Well, I was thinking back to what we were talking about earlier, and what you'd like to be in the play. It's interesting that nobody said they want to be King Herod. That's the top picture there. And I'm not surprised. He doesn't have very good press, does he, King Herod? So we won't talk about him at all. And I'm not going to talk about angels because that's a bit tricky. I know lots of you would love to be an angel, and perhaps sometimes your mum or your dad, when you were little, said, "What an angel you are." Sometimes. I don't know. We're not going to talk about those, so press the button, please. And we're going to talk about the shepherds, because if you wanted to be a shepherd, I just wanted to point out to you that, did you notice in the Bible reading, it was all night long. You had to stay out in the fields, in the cold. If you think it's been cold the last few days, Imagine just being out in the fields all night and keeping an eye on your sheep. And anybody been very close to sheep? Are they a bit, you know what? Yeah, you sure you want to be a shepherd still? Well, of course, you could have had an amazing experience. If you really were one of those shepherds way back when Jesus was born, you would have seen those angels. It would have been fantastic. And you would have been one of those who'd rushed down to Bethlehem. And I imagine you knocking on all the doors. Excuse me, we've been told to look for a baby that's lying in a manger. Have you got one here? No, sorry. Have you got one here? How would they find it? You know, people don't put a sign outside. They know a flashing neon sign in Bethlehem saying, baby in manger in here. They had to go around and find it. It took quite a while. And then when they got there, they told everybody about the angels and about what the angel has said and how amazing all of that was, what the angel had said. It was a great thing. Let me just remind you of what we had in our reading. It said, the angel said, don't be afraid. I'm here with good news for you, which will bring great joy to all the people. This very day, in David's town, your Savior was born, Christ the Lord. And then they went on to say, glory to God in the highest heaven and peace on earth to those with whom he's pleased. God is offering peace and joy to us all. And it started with a shepherd. So if you wanted to be a shepherd, well, you had that to start off with. Press the button again and let's see. What about a wise man? Yes, a lot of you wanted to be a wise man. And I'm not surprised because, if you like looking up at the stars, I can remember when I was a child, I grew up in a village, as I said before, and you could see the stars better there than you can in the town or in the city. And I remember getting a book about all the constellations were and reading all the Greek myths that go along with it. So these guys, they were wise. They looked at the stars, they spotted something. But here's the rub. If you really want to be a wise man, I wonder whether you would be willing, because you'd seen a special star, because you thought you knew what it meant, to stop everything you were doing, to get your camel out if you had one, and to go on a long journey, several hundred miles probably. And there you were, and you'd taken something really valuable, and you took all that time to go via Herod and have not a very nice experience there. And finally, eventually you found out where a baby was because you were following that star. And I don't know, it could have been a month, 6 months of your life gone looking for this baby if you really were a wise man. And when you got there, you had to give something really valuable. And maybe even today you're thinking, well, I'm giving valuable things for Christmas, and that's great. And maybe you can't afford to give valuable things. Well, these guys could, and they gave amazing presents like gold for a king, frankincense for a priest, and myrrh. Well, myrrh was what they put on people when they died. So I guess not only were they wise, not only did they follow the stars, but somehow they were inspired a bit about what this baby was, a king and a priest and someone who came to die. So I suppose if you want to be a wise man, I'd have to ask you, what valuable thing would you give to Jesus? What would be your thing that you could give? And maybe our most valuable thing would be our time or ourselves or our gifts or our abilities. Let's look at the next one. Joseph. Quite a lot of people want to be Joseph, but you've got to remember what happened to Joseph, you know. There he was, nicely engaged to this lovely lady, Mary, and all of a sudden, Mary says, I'm going to have a baby. And Joseph knew it wasn't his. Now, just think for a moment how you would feel if your fiancé, or even your girlfriend, going to have a baby, and it became obvious after a little while, you know, and you thought, I've never slept with her. It can't be mine. What's going on here? And Joseph was a man who tried to do things right. And so he was going to do a private separation, you know, and not see her anymore when the angel came and said, don't be afraid. And now you've got to decide what you're going to do. Are you going to obey the angel? And Joseph did. And I wonder if you would get married to somebody who's carrying someone else's baby. And then you have to go 70 miles, you know, with this lady who's carrying a baby all the way to Bethlehem. And you can't get the bus and you can't get the train and you can't go on a plane because they haven't been invented yet. And I don't know, would you have had a donkey? Maybe you would. But it wouldn't be you riding the donkey, would it? It would be Mary if there was one. Well, there's Joseph. And then Joseph, well, I'm thinking, what could Joseph give? Well, Joseph gave his whole life to Jesus. Joseph's job was a carpenter. Jesus' job before he started telling Jesus was a carpenter. So I reckon Joseph spent an awful long time with Jesus. He more or less gave his whole life to looking after Jesus from then onwards, along with Mary and obviously Jesus' brothers and sisters, the rest of the family. So that's Joseph. I wonder if you could still be Joseph and give your life to help Jesus. And one more person, of course, press the button, it's Mary. There's Mary, and she had an angel come to see her, and it was amazing. And I suppose if you were Mary, you could think, well, all this stuff that's going to happen to me when the angel told me, what would that be like? I think the main thing I want you to think about with Mary is what she said when the angel came to see her. When the angel explained it all, Mary said, I am the Lord's servant. May it happen to me as you have said. I am the Lord's servant. If you wanted to be Mary, and if you actually were Mary, if somehow you could go back in time into when Jesus was born, and there you turned out to be Mary, I wonder if you would be able to say, I am the Lord's servant. May it happen to me as you've said. Because you could say that today. We all have the chance to say yes to Jesus, yes to God. And maybe you've done that lots of times in the past, and I would encourage you this Christmas, in this the end of this service, to say yes again to God. Yes to giving your life like Joseph. Yes to giving your life like Mary. Maybe you've never said that before, and now you're thinking about Mary or Joseph, or even the wise men on their long journey and the shepherds, what they gave.